Hello, my name is Jennifer Broman, and I'm going to explain what I learned from the first two chapters of the textbook, Diversity and Equity in the Classroom. So if we look at page 8, one of the main things I learned here was about how multicultural education started, how it started with the intercultural education, intergroup education, and the civil rights movement. So that was quite interesting. And then I went on and I learned about cultural pluralism, what that was. Respecting people from diverse cultures and their ways of life. And then if we move on to page 24, another of the main things that I learned from this chapter was about the ethic of care, social cultural theory of learning, and education for democracy, connecting the three theories. So learning a lot about what these theories were and how it impacted multicultural education. If we go on to the next page, continues on about ethic of care and looking at this chart, learning about how it's teaching the whole student, have the social cultural theory of learning, education for democracy, and ethic of caring. So that was quite interesting. And then for chapter 2, we go to page 45. Page 45, this is where I read about the 3 levels of culture, and it was interesting to find out that culture has different levels. Okay, level 1, more things that you can see, such as artifacts. Level 2, more in-depth, your customs, practices, greetings, how you interact with people. And then level 3 is more complex. Your shared values, beliefs, norms, and expectations, your values. So that was interesting to learn about, that Valle developed that. And then finally, on page 47, at the bottom of the page there, it was interesting to learn about that there could be what's called a hidden curriculum in the classroom, referring to an implicit set of values that exist, may be found mostly by looking at behaviors and unstated practices and content. Continues on the next page about that something can be taught or learned that isn't always obvious. It's the implicit set of values that exist but may be found mostly by looking at behaviors and unstated practices and content. And it talked about on this page the example of our currency, how we have European American men on our currency, and the implicit value is that women and minorities are not valued. And here's a picture showing that hopefully what we want to do in the future is to change that to show women and minorities a value on our currency. So those are the main things I learned from the chapters.